Hello and welcome to Cocktail Blog number 14. Can you believe it? So yesterday was an eventful day. It was the day to go track down that star that was bought for one of the guests by his wife. And so we did that. And here's how that went. All right, I'm sitting here with
Virginie.
And Matt.
From
We're from Australia.
Adelaide?
Adelaide, South Australia, yes.
The half time zone portion of Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what are we going to be doing at the telescope tonight?
Hopefully finding the star that I've named after my husband for his 40th.
Uh-huh.
I'm a difficult guy to buy presents for.
Yes.
So my wife thought it was a great idea to get a star, and I'm
Yes.
really excited to see it. Yeah.
I've been
So where
told-
did you purchase the star?
At the Sydney Observatory,
Uh-huh.
as a fundraiser opportunity, could give them a bit of money. And they include a personal tour of the observatory if you ever happen to be in Sydney at the right time to see that star. And yeah, it helps raising fund, and it's essentially for that specific registry. So my understanding, it is not a global, it doesn't represent the stars everywhere in all the registry, but just for that registry.
But unfortunately, we weren't able to go and visit because of COVID and the conservatory was closed.
Yes, so that happened in 2018, and a little bit forgot about the whole thing until we met Bill and started talking. I didn't have the coordinate of that star on my phone, so we had to have an overnight, and I texted my cat sitter and I said, on the lower bookshelf, there's a folder, send me some photos.
So you tracked it down.
I tracked it down,
Yes.
And hopefully, yes, tonight we can find it and see it.
That's
for
terrific.
The first time.
Well, you got all the right information to me, and I was able to find it on the map. It's in some of the catalogs that I have, and I think we're going to be able to find this thing. So it's going to be fun. So we'll see you up at the scope tonight.
Thanks, Bill.
Great.
Thank you.
So as soon as I got done with dinner, I hightailed it up to the observatory to get there ahead of everybody else. So as soon as I got up there, I fired up the shooting scope. I typed in the position coordinates for the star into the shooting computer. Telescope swiveled over there, found the area of sky, and I told it to bang off 10 30-second exposures of this area of the sky. I knew it would be in the frame somewhere because we're looking for one single star, and that telescope sees 4 degrees of sky. That's the width of 8 moons. So I knew it was just going to be in there. And then they came up, and I had looked at some of the charts and figured out how we were going to find it. It was kind of fun because it went back to the early days of my astronomy when all you really had was paper star charts and a red flashlight. You know, I'm happy that I learned that way, but I'm glad I don't have to do it anymore. All right, so here's how you find Matthew's star in Matthew Overton.
Yes, Matthew Overton.
Here's how you find his star in the sky. So we've got the Southern Cross here, which is kipped over on its right, and then we can take these 2 stars here, and they point us towards this bright star here. Yep. And then we can find another star here that's not quite as bright, that sort of comes and goes, but it's there. But those 2 stars provide the baseline, and then we're going to drop down and make a perfect, almost perfect equilateral triangle with those 3 stars right about there, and that's where your star is, roughly.
Okay.
And so once we had gotten our bearings about which way the chart was oriented versus which way it looked in the eyepiece, we were able to hop from known little pattern of stars to another one and gradually get in on it until we could say, yes, that is your star, Matt. So today I processed that image into a single image for him, and I will label the star. I found the star in the image, and I will label it and send it to them. So that was actually a lot of fun. And I think it'll be a memorable thing for them. Now, speaking of memorable, it dawned on me just like day before yesterday that I'm going to be here during the Perseid Meteor Shower. That's the big one. Every year, overnight, August 11th into the 12th, it's the big one that everybody talks about. When you hear the John Denver song, Rocky Mountain High, where he says he saw it raining fire from the sky, that was the Perseid Meteor Shower. Well, you can't think of a better place to see a meteor shower than a place that is Bortle 1 dark, like Namibia, Africa. So I am really looking forward to it. The moon, which can potentially be a spoiler for meteor showers, will be at first quarter tomorrow, which means that it's halfway lit and it'll set about 4 hours after the sun does, meaning that, from about 11:30 on until dawn, there will be no moon in the sky, total inky black skies. So the Perseid Meteor Shower from this location has every indication of being just absolutely spectacular. I like a good meteor shower just like the next guy, but so many of them are so disappointing. They're either spoiled by the moon or they come up with, this has got this and this going on and it's going to be fantastic, and then it's cloudy or it's super cold or whatever. And I've been left high and dry, as it were, with so many different meteor showers that I just really am over it. But every now and then something comes up and it gives you hope. Well, we haven't had a cloudy night since I've been here, so I'm expecting this to be either the second or third best meteor shower I've ever seen. The first best meteor shower was the 2001 Leonids. That was the storm year that comes around every 99 years, and that was pretty amazing. The Perseids, they have kind of a long ramp up to the peak, which is tomorrow. And we saw a meteor last night. We were standing around talking. We saw a meteor. It was the slowest, longest meteor I have ever seen. It was in the sky for literally 10 seconds. We looked at it, we go, oh, there's a meteor. And it goes, and it's moving, and it's moving, and it's leaving this sort of sputtery trail. It's still up there, it took 10 seconds to get out of the sky. It was unbelievable. It was the weirdest, longest meteor I'd ever seen. Well, apparently we could be seeing a lot more of that tomorrow. By the way, tonight's cocktail, as you can see, the light is fading. I didn't have time to make a fancy decision or teach anybody a recipe, so it's a Taffel beer. Last night, it was a real party up at the telescope. We had two very chatty couples up there, and they seemed more interested in talking to each other than looking through the scope. So we just stood around and had a great old time. I showed them a few things, but they started talking about tech stuff, and all of a sudden the astronomy wasn't really all that on the plate. It was warm last night. I inadvertently forgot my hoodie, which is acting as a windbreak for wind noise in the microphone right now, and was able to get through the night without long underwear or the hoodie. I did end up putting on the heavy winter coat just because I wanted to be warm when 2 o'clock in the morning rolled around. I finished shooting the Helix Nebula, which is a smallish target for the kind of scope setup that I have, but it was very well placed in the sky. So I ended up giving it a shot. It's large for what it is, but it's small in the telescope. But it turned out as good as I could have hoped. I really pushed the exposure. I went 5-minute exposures instead of 4 on hydrogen, and 4-minute exposures instead of 3 on each on red, green, and blue. That got me plenty of signal. So I'll throw some of those up in the blog and on Facebook. I posted the Running Chicken Nebula in Facebook, and that's getting a lot of funny comments. Somebody says it would look good with some teriyaki sauce. Thank you, Dallas. I'm also getting drink requests ever since I did the old-fashioned. So, Billy, I'll get around to your drink request here pretty soon. Anyway, that does it for Cocktail Blog number 14. Carpe Noctem.